Hi all, Game Time is fired up and on the air from our Atlanta studio. Good to have you with us. Hall of Famer Kevin Mchale is right over there. Brian Shaw. I'm Matt Weiner. All of Sunday's highlights upcoming. Starting in L.A., LeBron James recorded his 8th 30-point game of the season on Sunday, but he's not the headline for the Lakers, as Anthony Davis recorded the second highest scoring game ever by a LeBron teammate. It came against the Minnesota Timberwolves. AD getting right to it. First from LeBron ahead of the pack. That can't happen, right?
No, someone's got to be back. That's too easy. Speaking of easy, that's another easy one.
Anthony Davis rim running and beating the Wolves down the floor repeatedly.
Again and again and again. And again and again.
And again.
LeBron also found time to score.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. He found the fault in the youth, because he was not doing that a couple years ago. Wow.
Gorgie Jane can testify to that. Second half, Lakers take control. Davis misses. LeBron eventually finds it.
Ooh.
Rolls right to him, and he knocks down the three. Then AD, the step back.
Oh.
3 of 4 from the mid-range.
No, that's not even, that's deep mid-range.
Davis.
Wow.
Little floater there, and then LeBron
Let me ice this.
puts it away. Anthony Davis goes for 50 in this game, and the Lakers win at 142-25. AD's fourth career 50-point game. Only Kyrie Irving has scored more among LeBron's teammates. Lakers have won 4 straight and 14 of 15 after AD's big night.
When you got two players who are very selfless and just want the best for the other player, it's very easy. You know, I'm looking for him. He's looking for me, and we continue to learn each other where we like to score the basketball. Obviously, that pick and roll, when I'm setting it for him, he's able to get downhill at a fast pace and in attack mode. It puts the defense in a bind. Now they either got to help on him or they leave me open, or we find the shooters on the weak side. So we're going to continue to get better at it, but it's looking good right now.
So Anthony Davis with 50, second only to Kyrie Irving, who had 57 against the Spurs, playing alongside LeBron James back in 2015. Lakers put up 136 and then 142. They haven't scored that much in back-to-back games since 1989. How did Davis do it here?
Well, he did it in a variety of ways. And, you know, he was 0 for 2 from the three-point line. So he said, you know what? I'm going to get these points where I know I can get them. And right here, you see he outruns the entire Minnesota defense for an old-school rim run and a dunk. Nice vision from LeBron finding him. Here he's setting a pick. Gets inside. The defense is stretched out because they're worried about the perimeter shooting of the Lakers. And he was able to get an easy dunk there. Now he's in his favorite spot on the floor. Back to the basket, getting over that left shoulder for his jump hook. And, you know, once he got it going, I mean, he was so efficient tonight, 20 for 29. Like I said, only two three-point shots that he didn't make, but there, again, the step back, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. He did it in every way.
And 10 for 10 at the rim as well, and I know that makes you happy.
It does. You know what I like to? He ran ahead of the pack and posted up. And LeBron throws a 70-foot post-entry pass. He gets him the ball. That's the way I like the game to be played. It gives the bigs room down there to go to work. And if AD keeps doing that, it's almost impossible to guard it because half the defenders are at half court. So, you know, kudos to AD for running and playing, and also LeBron and the Lakers throwing the ball ahead, letting them play ahead of the pack.
And not settling.
Last time a pair of teammates had a 50-point game while the other had a 30-point, 10-assist game, Mchale and Bird. March 1985, you had 56. Bird went for 30 and 10. How about that?
Wow, a long time ago.
A lot of emphasis on defense there, which is not surprising given Frank Vogel's background and the fact that the Lakers have been a really good defensive team here so far. One of the question marks coming into the season was there enough outside shooting for the LA Lakers surrounding LeBron and Anthony Davis? Well, they're up to 10th in the league in three-point percentage, and on Friday night they knocked down 17 of 34, I believe it was, in 36 rather, in their win over Portland.
Well, I think last year's team would have been more of a question of if there's enough outside shooting. They added Danny Green, Troy Daniels, Jared Dudley. Kuzma's coming into his own at the three-point line now. So they have a lot of guys now. And then one of the things that you see them do In this situation, they're coming down on the break. There's 5 guys all outside the three-point line. This is the new NBA. Usually you have a rim runner, and then other guys fill in the spaces on the perimeter. They got 5 guys. It's just a matter of finding the open one because teams come back and build their defense from the inside out. Here again, you see LeBron, a way of playing inside-out basketball. He's got 5 defenders all around him in the paint. Damian Lillard makes the mistake of turning around and not seeing his man. KCP finds a window for LeBron to hit him, and what does it turn into? Another wide-open three-point shot for KCP, who's shooting the ball well at this point in the season as well. Another way of inside-out. LeBron, who obviously can see the floor, sees KCP on the cut in the paint. Dame does the same thing again, turns his back, leaves Danny Green. The defender was already in great enough position. There was no need to help on that post-up. KCP's not a post-up guy, but when you have a Danny Green on the outside and some of these other shooters that I talked about, that's why you see the improvement in the Lakers from the three-point line.
You said you've taken note of the offense in that maybe it's better than what you expected to this point in the season. Where and why?
Yeah, well, first of all, their defense is better than what I thought it would be overall, and that leads to some runouts. That leads to some odd man, and they finish at the rim so well. Anthony Davis and LeBron finish at the rim at such a high level. They're the best team in the league on two-point shooting. Just regular, not three-point shooting, but just two. And that's because they finish so well. And Kuzma's a big player. They, again, are one of those unique teams that can play really big across. We talked a little bit. Dallas can play really big. They put LeBron at the point. They can have everybody out there, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", so they can all finish at the basket. And their three-point shooting is better. And I said their fill-in players are getting comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Green makes some shots. Caldwell Pope is making shots. So if those guys are making shots, this is a really good team. I was interested during that clip just about Vogel talking about defense, Basically, his defensive concept is, 2 guys have got to be able to play the ball. We can't bring 9 guys over here to guard the ball. 2 guys, you got to keep people. Yeah, 9. That'd be 9, man. Anyway, you got to be able to contain the ball, and that's every good defense starts with the ability of containing the ball. But not only the ability, but you got to demand it. It's one thing if a guy comes at you and his A move is phenomenal. You can't get beat with C moves. You can't have a guy come up, dribble, hesitate, and just go blow by you.
Right.
And he demands that they stay in front of the ball, and that sets up this entire defensive principle of not having to overhelp and give up corner threes and everything else.
They face a Timberwolves team tonight that has lost 3 in a row. They're 0-2 on this 3-game trip after just a completely bonkers sort of loss at Oklahoma City on Friday night. This thing just was nuts. They had a chance to salt away the game. Karl-Anthony Towns is trying to miss there with 1.1 to go. And instead, they wind up giving up the game-tying layup as Steven Adams finds Dennis Schroeder on a fly route and makes the layup at the buzzer, and they wind up outscoring them by a dozen in overtime. How long is that going to stick with you?
Well, luckily in the NBA you have another game, the next night or the night after that. But a couple things happened there that shouldn't have happened. Obviously Steven Adams had to throw a great pass. Schroeder was able to hold off Jeff Teague on that play, but Jeff Teague, as a guard and experience that he has in this league, you should never let that player get behind you, especially in that type of situation.
And we didn't even show the part where they got an extra point. Oklahoma City got an extra point because of a technical foul on the Timberwolves for a player entering the game with his jersey untucked, something that Chris Paul noticed right away and directed the officials toward. And once they saw it, they basically had to call it.
Yeah, I thought there was always the ability for the referee to have a little discretion in that. Like, is the guy tucking you? How untucked is he?
He was completely untucked.
Well, then he was untucked, then he got technical. No, Chris Paul pointed out they got it. But to your point, Brian, at that point, you put somebody down on the other foul line. You have your guards there. You just take the guy and say the Timberwolves are shooting a free throw here. A Timberwolf defender should have been at the other foul line, just standing down there playing free safety. Because you're going to wing it. And that was a heck of a throw, though, by Steven Adams. That is not easy to make that pass. And he made it right on the button for a lay-in. And, boy, those losses do stick with you. Like you talked about, you have a game the next day. But, man, I tell you what, as a coach and as a player, you think, boy, we blew that one.
It's a pretty good baseball pass for a guy who grew up in New Zealand.
Never played
where
baseball.
They don't play baseball, right?
I'm with you.
I don't know what you call that pass if you grew up somewhere where you don't play baseball.
Well, he did go to the University of Pittsburgh, so maybe he learned
Maybe he picked it up there?
Yeah, maybe there.
Maybe he's just a really good athlete and he's playing in the NBA. Maybe that's it.
That could be it.
Yeah.
He threw rocks as a kid at something.
Andrew Wiggins will be back in the starting lineup tonight for the Timberwolves. That's a good thing. Maybe even better is the fact that they're not at home, which is counterintuitive, but appears to be the case so far. The record is much better. They score better. They shoot it better, both inside and outside the three-point line as well. On the other hand, they've got LeBron James to deal with. Here's Ryan Saunders on that challenge tonight.
You have to just shake your head sometimes. I mean, watching a player like him. I mean, he's a transcendent talent. You guys don't need me to tell you that, but it seems like he's always adding something to his game, and he's the way he moves with the ball at his size. He poses a very unique challenge on a nightly basis, but he's always been a dominant type player, and the Lakers have done a great job. Putting him in those positions here too, with other guys around him as well who are also dominant type players.
You coached with the Lakers, with LeBron last year. What is the best way to attack him in terms of, well, either end of the floor, but particularly defensively, especially now that he's the nominal point guard?
Well, you try to get him out extended as far as you can on the perimeter, and put him in pick and roll situations where he has to move his feet. And last year a lot of guys attacked him off the dribble, but he seems to be in better shape, and sliding his feet a lot better than he did last year. And so it's tough. But when you have a player like Anthony Davis behind you, you can make mistakes out there on the perimeter and know that you have a guy that, not only Anthony Davis, but JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard back there that can clean up your mistakes. And so that gives him as a defender a lot more confidence, and that's probably why he's playing better.
What kind of a difference can Andrew Wiggins make tonight?
I think he'll make a difference because he can score the ball. But the Timberwolves scoring the ball is not that big of an issue. It's defensively that they've got to get better. They're elite rebounding. That's the one thing. If you look at the Timberwolves, you say, man, this team rebounds the ball both offensively and defensively very well. But they don't do anything else really at an elite level. And Wiggins will help them score. But man, they need help on the defensive end. Of course, they're going to try to outscore you too. I look at their defense and I just don't see anything they do where I go, man, they can hang their hat on that defense, So Wiggins will help them score, get up and down the floor, but they've got to shore up that defense. They got to get better.
That's how you get to 10 and 11.
Yes.
You don't do anything incredibly well, but you're
a lot of stuff.
But you're a decent team.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're 10 and 11.
Yeah.
They do play really well on the road. And that's where they are tonight against the LA Lakers. Wiggins having a career year so far.